Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. I am Sherilyn. This is Just Goodness 333 Little Homestead. If you're new here, if you've come here before, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, stick around. Today we're going to be making pizza, and for the dough, regular pizza dough doesn't agree with me. So for the dough, I'm going to be using my sourdough discard. So stick around. Let's see how we do this super delicious, yummy, easy pizza. First, I need to pick an apron. I was gifted so many pretty aprons, like a bag full of pretty aprons. And I'm going to pick one, and then we'll come back and start making pizza. It may be a while. It's hard to choose from these. Okay, I'm back. I've made my choice. What do you think? I love this apron. Thank you to the wonderful person who gave me that bag of aprons. You know who you are. The first thing I'm going to do is season my cast iron skillet. Now this is like a medium size. This is a large cast iron skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, you can use a pizza stone. You can use a pizza pan if that's all you have. You can even use a baking dish, a casserole dish. Just if you're using glass or thin metal, you're not going to want to put this on the bottom rack of the stove. We are going to put this, I'm greasing it up really good. Then I'm going to stick it in my oven and turn the oven on 425. And this is going to warm up while the oven preheats. And that'll give us a chance to get everything else ready. Now I said we were going to put the stove on 425. Sorry, it's 450. We're going to put it on 450. I've been roasting vegetables all week, and 425 is what I use for roasting vegetables, so I guess I had it stuck in my brain. Okay, today I'm going to be using, while my pan is heating up in the oven, I'm going to be using a few things from the store, some things from my garden, and let me show you what we've got. I love veggie pizza, and I'm allergic to pork, so I don't put any of that stuff on my pizza. I have tomatoes and eggplants that I grew in the garden, and I made my own pasta sauce, and I love it. It's a roasted eggplant and tomato pasta sauce. I'm going to be using this. And my eggplant is in now, and tomatoes will be in this winter. I'm going to freeze the eggplant. When I make it next time, you better believe I'm not going to put it all in quart-sized jars. I am going to put it in some small jars and make just pizza sauce. So, because now when I have pizza, I have to open this and put it in the refrigerator, and then we have to plan a meal around this. So, this is from the garden. I have some fresh basil and a little tiny jalapeno from the garden. I have the last of the peppers that we got from the garden this summer. From the store, I've got some black olives, some minced garlic, some mushrooms. I like to add a little Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella cheese. And I find that it saves me a little money. The block is cheaper than the shredded cheese, and the shredded cheese quite often has a caking agent on it, which sometimes is cellulose, which is like a byproduct of paper, I believe. I don't want to eat that. So I buy this, save a little money, and I use my food processor. I have an electric one. I prefer to use this hand cranked one. And we're going to do that. I'm going to strain the olives and all of that good stuff. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring these peppers and mushrooms over to the skillet, and I'm going to saute those. Why am I going to saute this stuff before I put it on pizza? Because our pizza dough is going to cook first by itself, and then we're going to add the cooked vegetables and cheese. Don't forget the cheese. The skillet is piping hot straight out of the oven. And I ran out to the garden and I grabbed some fresh thyme and some fresh rosemary. I have extra virgin olive oil here, a little bit of salt, and my sourdough discard. Now, sourdough discard, a lot of people just throw it away because they're just bread makers. There's a lot you can do. Visit Farmhouse on Boone. Go visit Lisa at Farmhouse on Boone on YouTube and see her playlist for recipes to do with sourdough discard. Okay, I'm going to add about 1.5 cups I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to guesstimate. I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of this starter discard to my bowl. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have extra virgin olive oil, you can use another light oil. There's 1, 2. Okay. And I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of a good salt. I'm using pink Himalayan salt. I'm going to take the fresh thyme and just put it straight in here. Try not to get a twig. I hate biting into something that has my fresh herbs in it and find a little twig. There we go. There's the thyme. And the rosemary is a little big, so I am going to use some scissors and I'm just going to snip it in little bits. Sort of give it a haircut. Let's give it a haircut. Put it in there. Snip off all the long ends. They remind me of Christmas tree branches, which I absolutely love. There you go. There's our fresh rosemary. You don't have to add these herbs. If you don't have fresh herbs, you can use some dried herbs. You can use some Italian seasoning. I also have some oregano growing, but I've split the plants and made more plants out of them, trying to give them a little time to get established. And this is that. I'm just going to give it a good stir. Get everything all incorporated. Now our pan is really hot. When this hits the pan, it's going to start cooking immediately. And I'm just going to pour this in this pan. Just like that. And spread it out to the edge. If you find you don't have enough to cover the bottom of your pan, you can add some more starter. If you don't have much starter, you can add a little flour and water. And it's not going to be completely fermented like your discard will be, but it'll still be good and it'll still have that good sourdough flavor. I'm going to try to get it even all over the bottom of the pan. I like a fairly thin crust, thin to medium. Okay, let me bring you in closer and you can see how this has already started cooking. And you see here on the edges, it's already started to cook. And since I'm using a heavy skillet, I'm going to put this in the bottom of the oven, in the bottom rack, because I love a crispy crust. Okay, now I'm going to saute these vegetables in a light oil. I'm using sunflower oil on a medium-high heat. You know your stove, you know your pots and pans, you choose what's best for you. Let that heat up a little bit. Now, I'm a wimp, guys. This is a jalapeno, and I grew it, and I really want to use it. I picked it small because I have about 9 big ones that I need to make jelly with. So I picked this one small. I'm going to get rid of these seeds. I'm going to use some of this organic garlic salt. I actually got this from Frontier Co-op. I'm going to toss in a little bit of black pepper and just a little bit of minced garlic. I'm going to let that come together. While that's sauteing, I'm going to use this time to strain my olives and to grate my cheese. Here's some cheese that I made the other day with some raw cow's milk. It was pretty awesome. I didn't get a big bunch of cheese. The milk was expensive, so I'm probably not going to do that until we get a cow. Okay, our pizza crust is done. Look at this. Nice and crispy, just like I like it. Not too thick, not too thin. Time to assemble the pizza. Now here's where you get to be creative. Whatever you like on a pizza, you can put on this. You didn't have to put the herbs in there. If you wanted a sweet pizza crust for a dessert pizza, put a little sugar in there. If you wanted pineapples and black olives or a meat lover's pizza, do it up to your heart's delight. This is a little bit of a thinner crust, so you're going to want to make sure that you don't pile it on way too heavy. I'm going to bring you in for a closer look. Now I love sauce. And the beauty of making this tomato and eggplant sauce is the eggplant just makes it so nice and thick. And as soon as I get some tomatoes in this winter, I am going to show you guys how I make that sauce. Okay, I have the sauteed vegetables here, but first I think I want to put down some Parmesan cheese. Put my sauteed vegetables. And spread them all out. My fresh basil from the garden. I just like to leave it whole. You can chop it up if you want to, mince it in. You can cook it in your sauce, whatever you want to do. I'll do these black olives. I am so hungry, guys. I did not eat breakfast. I love black olives. Maybe just a few more. I really love black olives. My grandson, Sawyer, loves black olives. He'll take these olives and put one on each finger and walk around with 10 fingerfuls of olives, eating one at a time. Okay, and now it's time for the cheese. I also love cheese. I'm going to put a lot of cheese on this pizza. This is going back in the oven until the cheese melts. Yum! Let's check this pizza. Okay, the cheese is nice and melted. I'm going to put this on broil for about 1 to 2 minutes and watch it until I get it bubbly and crispy just where I want it. This pizza is done. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna dig in. I want to show you guys this crust. Here it is. Look at this crust. See? Can you see it? It's real pizza. And this is made with sourdough discard, stuff we used to throw away. Hey, I want to thank you guys for stopping by the homestead today. I'm going to go eat this pizza. I want to wish you well. See you next time. Bye, y'all. You gotta make this pizza. Yum, yum, yum.